CJ Fly, Rude Boy. Man, uh, I wasn't. Put this on repeat for all these young artists. I wasn't very aware of CJ Fly coming into this.
Drink.
Yeah, but man, this first album, I hadn't heard his mixtapes or any of the singles before. Really grabbed me, and I think what I really liked about this album was it seemed to really blend a new hip hop sound with some old hip hop flourishes and like key elements to it. Like at points, I really felt like I was listening to some like mid '90s shit with some of the production, and then other times I was like, this feels very modern. And CJ Fly really impressed me with this. How are you feeling about Rude Boy?
Yeah, I liked it. I've always liked it. I think I just appreciated CJ Fly. He was the first rapper out of Pro Era, of course, Joey Badass's crew. He was the first Pro Era rapper after Joey to release any solo material. So apart from those 4 early PE tapes. And yeah, the way I see it, 2013, Flytrap 2016, like you could see the talent, but I never was really wowed by his solo work just because I never felt he maybe had like a strong enough presence enough to like stand out. He was just kind of one of those like more lyrical throwback rappers that kind of just blends in with the other lyrical throwback rappers. And I still feel like sometimes he doesn't have the strongest like presence on the mic, but you can tell he just appreciates like the form. And this whole album is produced by Static Selecta, who's a bit of a New York production legend at this point, who also worked a lot with Joey, especially in the early days. And working with Static and just having that, as you said, just kind of an old school New York sound is really cool. And then mixing that with like some more like Caribbean, West Indian patois and stuff, as the title track certainly leans into, is cool. So in general, you can just expect like a high bar for the Pro Era guys whenever they drop anything. And it's kind of wild that we hadn't really heard anything from CJ solo in a while. Like, I mean, he was on the Beast Coast album, but I feel like he was one of the voices that kind of faded to the back, given that there were so many cooks in the kitchen for that. I guess his verse on Left Hand was probably his best moment. But yeah, this was cool. And I think Block Party with Kirk Neasy is probably my favorite one off Rude Boy, but as well as Rude Boy, the title track. But yeah, it's just pretty solid. And you can, I think you just, as you said, just kind of appreciate the love for old and new.
Yeah, it's definitely blended really well. And I was going to give Static Selecta a shout out on this because I think the production on this is just fantastic. It's pretty masterful throughout. And you mentioned Block Party, definitely one of the ones that stood out. I thought LV Ascot and Grew Up were also 2 standouts for me. But really, I thought the whole album flowed together pretty well. I didn't feel like it really lagged or sped up. I guess the one thing I would say is I feel like he like the tempo or like the feeling from each song kind of stayed low the whole time, and I would have appreciated maybe a little bit more up tempo. But overall, I thought this was a really strong first album, quote unquote. So good for CJ Fly, man. I'm happy for him.